Israeli wireless smart road tech startup Electreon is set to make its entry into the U.S. market with the first deployment of its wireless charging infrastructure to power electric vehicles in Michigan. The company said that it won a bid to build an electric road system on a public road in Detroit, the country's long-standing automotive capital, dubbed Motor City, as part of a program called the Inductive Vehicle Charging Pilot, announced by Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The program aims to test electrified roads that will hopefully eventually lead to further adoption of electric vehicles and advanced environmental sustainability. Let's take a listen.
Starts today. Meet Electreon and its unique technology developed in order to change the future of transportation. The change starts today. Electreon Smart Road quickly and efficiently transforms our public infrastructure into a source of advanced energy. Public transportation vehicles will not require any refueling or charging at any time whatsoever. So, what does Electreon do? Electric vehicles will receive continuous power while the vehicle is being driven directly from the infrastructure embedded under the asphalt road. Instead of carrying the heavy and expensive battery with a limited driving range and a short lifetime, with Electreon's groundbreaking technology, one can simply travel non-stop. Our city's landscape will change dramatically. No more gas stations, nor cumbersome battery charging stations. And as the number of vehicles traveling on the smart road increases, air pollution around us will decrease drastically.
Joining us for, I guess it's a recap of technology this week, General Partner, Ancestors Advisory, Fisayo Durojaye. Fisayo, happy holidays. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's a good day to drive in Lagos today.
Yes, because there's no traffic.
Absolutely no traffic.
Fantastic. Well, let's start with the roads. What do you make of Electreon and what they're trying to do there with that, where you can charge your car as you're driving if you have an electric car?
I mean, it's interesting because it's a smart road system where the charging system is underneath the asphalt for the road, and then you can just drive non-stop without, having to have any form of charging stations or filling stations, scattered across the city. I think it's innovative, but of course it means that, every city will have to
redo their
roads. I don't know how feasible this particular one will look like, because, imagine Third Mainland Bridge is a smart road,
right?
But before Third Mainland Bridge is not, and after Third Mainland Bridge is not. So how do you continue to deal after you've stepped away from the smart road? So it means that you have to ensure that every road in the city is smart, and of course it means that even if you do that within the city, what happens to interstate travels? Right, moving from Lagos, assuming Lagos somehow figured out a way to make its road smart. How do you move from Lagos to Ogun State or to Oyo State, where you have to go through the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway? It means that every state in the country would have to be smart road. And of course, I don't know how real or how realistic that goal will look like.
Well, what about a mix between charging stations? Because there's still a deficit of charging stations across much of the world. So can there be a mix where you've got physical charging stations where you can plug your car and then some smart roads?
Maybe that's the only way to think about it. But again, it means that charging stations have to be deployed in places where there are no smart roads or smart charging roads, as it were. So it means that if I'm moving interstate, it means that two things. I think I heard this system says that you don't even need batteries. So if you don't have batteries, charging stations will charge batteries, so that the batteries would run you through the system. So this one is fueling you as you're driving. So it's not like it's storing the energy somewhere, which is a big problem.
Gotcha.
So he has to be able to store the energy somewhere, so that charging stations can then supplement when there's no smart road in sight.
Is this a natural evolution going forward as far as energy conservation and
I don't think
renewable?
So.
You don't think so?
I think
Share
it's
your
far-fetched.
thoughts. Share your thoughts.
I think it's far-fetched. I think it's not realistic. In the US alone, it means you have to redo all the roads in the US. It's not realistic to have that.
Actually, hold that thought. We have a quote from Gretchen Whitmer, who is the governor of Michigan, where she actually said that, I mean, hopefully we'll get that up, but there it is. So she said, as we aim to lead the future of mobility and electrification by boosting electric vehicle production and lowering consumer costs, a wireless in-road charging system is the next piece to the puzzle for sustainability. So, that's one governor embracing it. So what do you think?
So again, it has to be a charging system. So it means that there has to be batteries, right? So that could work, where you are actually charging the batteries as they've been. And I don't think that the wireless road is the only way to do this. You can have a solar roof.
Right.
On the cars that charges the cars as they move.
Right.
So you don't necessarily need to rebuild your total road because
what charge. The cost of putting solar panels on each car versus
compare
the road.
that then so rebuilding the whole road. I'd rather put solar panels on the cars.
Yeah. Great stuff. What do you make of Twitter Blue? I need to ask you this, but you saw maybe Tony Lumelo was being sarcastic, or but. I want to ask you about the legacy checks being taken away, and then Elon Musk subsidizing some celebs. What does that mean? What do you make of this?
I don't know why he selected those three, because at least he mentioned that there are only three of them. Right. So I don't know why he selected those three. I sincerely, Elon Musk, it just makes any sense to me. Maybe just pick people at random, like, okay, how many celebrities I want to choose at random? Okay, 3. I'll just pay for these people and move on. So there's no science to it, right? Yeah. So there's no thought about that. But of course, I think we have to check, again, why Elon Musk is doing what he's doing. Right? Because the truth is that we've been using Twitter for free for a lot of, since inception. Right? So it means that the only way Twitter generates revenue is through advertising. And of course, advertisers are also very skeptical around the demography of people that use Twitter, because they are seen to be more angrier than people on other social media platforms. So like Instagram or Facebook or Reddit, or any other platform, right? So, and of course, it's understandable, because Twitter is designed for microblogging, as it were, and championing those core social changes. Revolutions can start on Twitter, can be sustained right there, right? So it was designed right for that. So, the anger is more like is designed into the fabric of Twitter, as well. So it means that advertisers will be skeptical to say, what kind of product do I want to be showing on this platform, or how do I want to target audience on this platform? It's very tricky to target. So it means that, again, compared to any other social media network, Twitter's advertising revenue is smaller compared to that. So it means, again, coming from that, it means that Elon has to figure out a way to ensure that you continue to optimize revenues, since the advertising revenue is not improving as it should. And don't forget, this guy paid $44 billion to acquire this asset, or liability, as it might be, right? So, but he has to figure out a way to monetize it somehow. And I think that this is one of the ways he's thinking about it. We can argue around, is it the right way to monetize or not? I don't think it's the best way to monetize. I think for verification can be done once and for all, and people just pay once and move on. I think I'd mentioned something like that before, that yes, just pay for verification once, because you don't need to renew verification because you don't change on a monthly basis, right? The verification should be once, and of course, what I think that they could figure out a way to monetize is followership, right? I think that if you have a threshold of, say, 10,000 followers, do you want to start paying, a certain amount per 1,000 follower, or is it 100,000 followers, or is it 1 million followers? How do you design? Because again, influencers can monetize their followers. They figure out a way to monetize those following by influencing for politicians, for brands, so they earn money from their following, right? So is it easier to just monetize people with a certain number of followers rather than just trying to say that for verification pay $8 a month? Again, there are different ideas around how to ensure that yes, Twitter makes money, but I don't think that this strategy that Elon is taking is the right step.
All right, speaking of money and making money, the 10 African cities with the fastest growing millionaires. As a person who funds startups, you've traveled to a number of these African cities. The talk is that Lagos is not there. So here's the top 10. So Kigali, Marrakesh, Mombasa, Tangier, Nairobi.
has two.
Yes, and then here's the other 6 through 10. We've got okay, this is still the same set. Okay, anyway, what do you make of the fact that we don't have the commercial capital of Africa's largest economy there?
I mean, you describe the commercial capital of Africa.
That's where we are.
Okay, maybe we've maxed out on our millionaire quota, as it were.
Yeah.
But again, if I look at it from an economic perspective, right? Nigeria's GDP has been stagnant, if anything, and inflation has been, on the rise. If there's anything, I mean, if we're to write about anything, so I think economists call it stagflation, right? Where your economy is not growing, and of course you're having high inflation. So it means that even the value that has been created is being eroded by inflation on a monthly or daily basis, as it were. Yeah. And you're not creating sufficient value to ensure that yes, people are continuing to grow their wealth. So I guess it all boils down to to the macroeconomic conditions for Africa, I mean, for Nigeria, as it were. And of course, exchange rate is not also great, right? So it means that you've lost money from Naira devaluation, you've lost money from inflation perspective, and of course, your economy is not growing. So I think Lagos is the melting point for all of these negative, metrics.
Let me read off the top 10 here since we couldn't get it up there. But number 6, Casablanca in Morocco.
That's 3 cities in Morocco.
Yeah, Morocco. See, good
Marrakesh,
point.
Tangiers,
and Casablanca. 7, Whale Coast in South Africa. Swakopmund in Namibia. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Accra, Ghana, despite all their issues. And then number 10, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Yeah. I mean, it's strange. Addis Ababa made it into the list.
Yeah, with everything going on.
And Nigeria is not there. So, again, I think he just puts into context when they say Lagos is probably one of the worst cities to live in, because cities like what's it called?
Kigali?
No, Kigali is a great city to live in. I mean, cities like the Niger.
Okay.
What's it called?
There are a whole number of cities you could pick.
Yes. That can pick. War-torn cities, that are livable, more livable than Lagos. I mean, I think it's a shame, really. But I guess it's we can what's it called? Remove Lagos from the overall macro macro headwinds facing the country, as it were.
Fisayo Durojaye, general partner with Ancestors. Thank you so much for joining us.